Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's reading vlog, I figured I would do reading new romance releases that I've been dying to read. Anticipated releases that I've been dying to read. The books that I want to read for this vlog are It Starts With Us with Colleen Hoover. You guys already know that came out October 18th. I still have yet to buy the book, but I do want to read it for this vlog. I don't know if I'm going to reread It Ends With Us before I read it. I feel like that might be doing a little too much. Second book that I want to read is The Co-op by Tarah Dewitt. This one came out, I believe, the 20th. And you guys know how much I loved Funny Feelings, so I have a feeling that I'm going to love The Co-op as well. And the covers are just so stunning. Third book that I want to read is Hollow Groves by Jacquot. And that's like a novella. I don't know if it's what part of the series it is. I think it's from the Christmas on the 13th Floor series and the one with the 4-leaf and so on and so forth. And it's just a quick little novella, but I love Jacquot writing and her novellas. I have bought every single one. I just want to read it, you know, a quick little read. I think it'll be good. The next one that I want to read is Quarterback Sneak by Kandi Steiner. You guys know that I have been loving this series by her. I loved Blindside. I loved Fair Couch. And now it's this Quarterback Sneak about Coach's Daughter, Forbidden Romance. I'm excited. That one came out, I think the 19th of October. If you guys want to see my thoughts on these books, if they're all going to be 5 stars like I am predicting, then just keep on watching. Hey guys, so I'm here to update you guys on my new releases reading vlog. So I did end up finishing Hollow's Grove by Jacquot. I never know. I'm just gonna call her Lee, okay? I did end up reading Hollow's Groves by Lee. I am loving this reading vlog, just saying. I haven't had a 5-star read as of yet, but we just keep trucking. Let's see. I ended up giving Hollow's Grove by Lee a 4 stars. Listen, I love Lee. I love her writing and her smut. It is so good. And this was perfect for spooky season, so definitely pick this up. A total vibe. Basically, the hero likes scaring the heroine, and the heroine is just like she's the adult version of a scaredy cat, and it's just so funny. But you know, she likes getting scared and she be getting turned on, and it's just a smutty good old time. There's been pining, I feel like, by the hero quite a bit. The heroine just is always like, they've always had this like hate relationship, enemies to lovers, I believe, because the heroine is best friends with the hero's sister. So it is best friend's brother as well. It is so good. There's a little bit of primal kink in there. There's a lot of good things in this novella. I can tell you that. I loved it. I love Lee's writing, so I give it 4 stars. It is definitely above a 3-star. It is 4 stars. I loved it. Now, I did end up reading another book. I ended up reading The Co-op by Tarah Dewitt. I ended up giving this book 4.5 stars, but I did end up rounding it up to a 5-star on Goodreads. Listen, I kind of struggled on how I wanted to rate this book because I started this book on the 25th of October and I finished it October 30th today. I finished it today, literally this morning. I was struggling because I didn't think it would take me this long to read this book because you guys already know how I feel about Funny Feelings by Tarah Dewitt. That book is so good. The thing with this one is that I wouldn't say it is absolute perfection, and it didn't give me the same feeling that I got when I was reading Funny Feelings. I didn't get this feeling of just pure joy and happiness, which it sucks, but it doesn't mean that this book is not good. This book, it is so good. I think also I was a little bit, I don't want to say triggered because I wasn't like triggered, but the feelings that Lorraine has, it's just like she has the trauma, you know, and she has to work through that. And then her relationship with, what's his name? With Deacon. I couldn't remember. Okay, I guess 1, I didn't get the feeling of a 5-star, and 2, I also felt like because I took me so long to read it, it wasn't like I wasn't enjoying it, because every time I picked this book up, I was enjoying it, but every time I would pick it up, I would either fall asleep, you know, and be right before bed, or I just don't have time to pick it up. I didn't have this urgency, you know what I mean? So there's also that. And then thirdly, I was reading some reviews of some of other people's reviews because I didn't know what to rate this, because I didn't think it was completely a 4-star, but I also didn't know, and I couldn't give it a 5-star at the same time. Something that I keep doing is that I keep comparing books to my 5 stars, and I need to stop doing that because books are different and they're subjective, and I just feel like if I start comparing books, I just won't ever know what to rate them because I need to be able to rate them solely based on that book. Anyways, that was kind of off point, but I also feel like if Tarah would have done like past and present, where we could have seen Loren and Deacon falling in love when they were younger, when they were in their teens, so we could have had that like build up and that tension there in the past and how they fell into this relationship where it didn't mean anything. Also seeing like how it all blew up, and also then seeing the present where they have to come together in a marriage of convenience and restore this house and restore their relationship. So I feel like if this would have been the perfect book to have past and present. I feel like if this book had past and present, oh, I think I would have been eating it up. I don't think it would have taken me that long. I also found it like the transitions. I did read this on ebook because it is on Kindle Unlimited, I believe. I like read the first 2 chapters and then I was like, what did I just read? So I had to like go back and read the first 2 chapters again. So there was also like weird transitioning, and that might just be the ebook, and maybe it's different paperback, which I definitely will be buying because I absolutely love this cover. But yeah, I'm rounding it up to a 5, but my rating is a 4.5 because it's not exactly a 5 star, and I don't think it's a solid 4 star. I think it's greater than a 4 star, so I'm falling on a 4.5. I still definitely recommend this book. It is so good. I love Tarah Dewitt's writing. I just love her so much, and I love Loren. I saw myself a lot in her. I think that's why I was a little bit triggered because of her trauma, not because her trauma is my trauma, but because of her feeling of inadequacy and the feeling that where she takes care of everyone first before she even thinks to take care of herself. And I just related to that, and it also like made my heart hurt because the way that they explain it in the book is like she's a cactus, but not all cactuses hurt or are sharp, and like she's sharp but she's also soft. Oh, and the build up, you don't get anything until I think the 80% mark and forward, but when they finally get together, it is hot. There's only literally like 1 sex scene, maybe like 1.5, which was very disappointing. I really wish that we would have gotten more, and I feel like we could have contributed a lot more like smutty scenes if we would have gotten the past and present. I love the music element. I loved Deacon and the way that he is as well, because he has his own trauma, and just how life builds these characters, and you see the way that they act because of other stuff, and it's absolutely amazing. I love Tarah Dewitt's writing. It's very very good. I love Loren. I love that she was a tall girl. I love that she played volleyball in her bikini. Period, sis, period. I loved the way that Deacon would like get jealous. I loved that she was working at a coffee shop. Working at that coffee shop was so fulfilling for her, and I'm glad that she got out of that situation with her father. I'm glad that she was moving forward and trying to get a relationship with her mother. I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of her grandmother and Deacon's grandmother, especially if we would have had that past and present element in here. I think we would have gotten just so much more out of the story. I loved that they were renovating a house while also like restoring themselves. I loved, there was this certain part where they were like right after they officially got together where Deacon says something that's just gonna live rent free in my head. I can tell you that. He says some spicy ass shit to her, and she tells him that she was ruined by him, and it's so good now that I'm thinking about it. It's really good. I think you should definitely read it. Let me not spoil, because you know the mouth on Deacon and the mouth on Loren. I like that she takes a little bit of charge too. You know, I love that. And it only happens once, but she does call him a good boy, and I was like, I was eating them. It's so good. It really is. I definitely recommend if you guys have been seeing this book around but don't know if you want to pick it up. It's giving very much cozy vibes as well, so you definitely should pick it up. I loved it. I will be picking up everything by Tarah Dewitt. I think she has only 3 books out. I mean, I could be lying. There's also another book called Roundabout or Round something. Rootbound. Not round. It's called Rootbound. I need to read that one as well. But anyways, that is my update for this vlog. I will try and get a little bit more of montage footage. I have no idea what book I'm going to read next. What was the other one? It was Hollows Grove, The Co-op. King of Wrath and Quarterback Sneak. But the thing with King of Wrath, I don't know if I'm going to read that book for this vlog because I haven't read Twisted Hate or Twisted Lies, and I think that they make an appearance in Twisted Lies, and now I just feel like I can't read it. So I'm going to most likely be reading Quarterback Sneak next. I think so. So yeah, I will be back to update you guys on Quarterback Sneak. I'm actually really excited, but also really nervous. I think I've seen reviews where people give it 4 stars that doesn't hit a 5-star. But I mean, Fair Catch for me was a 4.5 and Blindside was a 5-star. And then we'll see about this one. I'm excited. I also heard there isn't a 3rd act breakup in this one, but it is forbidden. Coach's daughter. And I'm just ready. I'm excited to pick it up. Hi guys, so I wanted to hop on here and close out this reading vlog, but also update you guys on the last book that I read for this vlog, which was Quarterback Sneak by Kandi Steiner. I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I ended up loving it. So the basis is, this is Holden Moore's book. So in this little trilogy so far by Kandi Steiner, I don't think she has a series name for it, but first one is Fair Catch, and that is about Zeke and Riley, and then there's Blindside, that is about Gianna and Clay. And in those 2 books, you meet Holden Moore, who is the quarterback, and he is the captain, the leader of this football team. So 3rd book, Quarterback Sneak, has to do with Holden Moore and Julep Lee, which is the coach's daughter. So right there, you already get the forbidden aspect. This was forbidden. This was angsty. This was trying not to get caught. It was just so good. It was those fleeting moments where they like brush hands or make eye contact or have this like internal dialogue with just a glance across the room. It was chemistry. It was spicy. It was so good. So good. So good. 5 stars. So basically, this football team is getting a new coach, and this coach comes with Julep Lee, who is the female main character. And this book deals a lot with grief. So check trigger warnings for that. I wasn't expecting, I mean, I was expecting it because people had said, but when I first you see the cover and you, I guess, read the synopsis, you don't really get that impression. But Julep is actually dealing with a lot of grief. So trigger warnings for that. There is a lot of suicidal thoughts. There is a lot of drug use. There is just a lot of mental warfare and the feeling of inadequacy and feeling like it should have been her instead of the person who passed. And that hit really hard, and it was really sad. And I found myself reading sometimes and just feeling just this overwhelming sadness for her, as well as Holden having grief in his past as well. It's not as recent as Julep's, but he also has this trauma that he went through. But I think that's what makes them mesh so well, because Holden understands that. And this is definitely reverse Grumpy Sunshine, because Holden is the sunshine. He is just optimistic and positive. He is just so full of life, you know, despite everything that he had gone through and still is kind of going through. I don't think that his grief was overshadowed by Julep's. I just feel like that because Holden went through this first and he experienced it and he came out better on the other side, like there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and that's where he is. And Julep, I feel like she's still in the tunnel, she's still going through it. That Holden helped her so much and helped her feel validated, and they just understood each other. So I don't think that Holden's grief was overshadowed, or that Julep's grief was worse or more deserving of than Holden's. I just feel like Holden had already gone through it, and obviously this is still something that he goes through and deals with and he thinks about, but he has had more time to heal. I feel like he has done a lot more healing than Julep has. So I do see why Julep's history and her grief is more prominent in this book, and it just makes so much sense on why she is the way that she is, because there's definitely a little bit of hate to love in the beginning, because she's like definitely not like, no, you know. Their relationship development was done so well. I think that they got to know each other quite a bit before they ever entered into anything sexual, and the tension buildup was there, and just the overall angst of being caught and the forbiddenness of it all was just amazing. And honestly, I think this one was smuttier than the first one and the second one. I don't know. I haven't read the first two books in a minute, I think in a couple months, so I'm not quite sure. But this one felt a little bit more smuttier, and just, you know, Holden Moore, he know what he doing. He know what he doing. I love that he had this passion over football, and I love that he was so dominant and in control and just this steady pillar for his football team, and then therefore for Julep as well, because I feel like Julep was kind of like flowing in the wind, you know? She was just going through the motions and trying to be a better daughter to her dad and not to cause him any more grief than he had already been going through. And I also loved the talk between how parents make mistakes as well, with the whole Julep and Julep's mom, and also Holden's mom, and just everyone is human and everyone has their own feelings, and nobody is perfect, and we can't hold parents to this. I mean, we should, but we shouldn't be so hard on them to hold them onto this really high like standard, because they will make mistakes. Like, they're just living life like we are. And I love the discussion that was had. I was also like really upset with Julep's dad, but I also had to like take a step back and understand that he had gone through that grief as well. Like, he was dealing with it and he was just scared. And when a parent is scared, they become protective and they try to literally block off any dangers or any potential of hurt. And I feel like that's what he was doing. He might have been a little harsh, but I see it from his point of view. And you also see him break down with Julep. And you know what, if the situation was like, if I was going through that and I had seen my father the way that Julep was seeing her father, I don't know what I would have done. Like, I mean, honestly, I probably would have done the same thing that Julep would have done, you know? Like, I hold my dad, like, I love my dad, like, I have a really close relationship with him, and to see them sad or whatever, like, breaks my heart. So like, I understood Julep in that point. I hope this is making sense. You just gotta read the book. But anyways, yeah, I loved that whole discussion. I loved Holden's uncles. Like, I just love the family aspect. I love how the team was incorporated. We got to see the past couples. That was so much fun. It's just so good. And obviously you also get the buildup of the next book. You get to see who that couple's gonna be. And I'm kind of excited because I know that the hero is Latino. So I want to see what goes on with that. And it's gonna be angsty as well, I feel like. One more thing. I definitely think you should read it. Holden is obsessed with Julep. Okay, the minute that Holden sees Julep, it's it for him. Like, she is it for him, and you see it in the things that he says and his thoughts and his actions. Like, he worships the ground that Julep walks on. I loved every minute of it. Also, I loved that Kandi Steiner incorporated pole into this book. Julep does pole as a form of, I want to say therapy. It's just her form of escapism. It's just beautiful. I wish, you know, when they describe things like dances or like pole or ballet or ice skating, like shit like that, I wish I could visually see it, because sometimes they'd be like, oh, they do this, and I'm like, but I wish I could see it so I know what they're actually doing. I mean, you could always look up pole dancing videos, but anyways, there's a lot of sexy scenes. I loved it. I loved it so much. This series is just getting better and better, and I can't wait until I have all these books in my hands eventually. I'm on a book buying ban as of right now. But yeah, that is my update for this book. Definitely read it. It is a sports romance, forced proximity because they live really close, forbidden, coach's daughter, all the things. Definitely read it. I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. Anyways, that is the end of this vlog. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.